Hey, teacher friends. Thanks for tuning in. This is our first Facebook Live for the new school year. I'm so excited that I have Kristin Muse here with me today. Kristin is a friend of mine that I've gotten to know online through teacher communities, Teachers Pay Teachers. We're in groups together, and she's really passionate about Nearpod. She's always talking about Nearpod. So I'm like, Kristin, I'm going to have you on. You're going to get into the Nearpod. And she was like, yes, please. So she's all ready to walk us through what it's about, getting your students online. She says it's really teacher friendly, right?
100%.
And student ready.
Yes.
They just get on. So before we jump into Nearpod though, Kristin, tell us about yourself, and we have to talk about Iste.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm a special education middle school teacher. I'll be entering my 12th year in September. I'll also be entering my second year as a technology integration lead teacher. And that position is what allowed me to go to Iste. It was opened up to, each building has either 1 or 2 tilts. That's the acronym that they use for it. And we were given the opportunity to go to Iste. So
That's amazing.
Completely,
So I followed your entire trip on social media, all your pictures, your excitement. And the only thing I kept saying to myself was, how did she get to go? Because that's a dream come true for a lot of teachers.
Yes, because it's expensive. I was lucky enough to not have to pay for it. The district did, but looking at how much it was, it's very expensive for somebody to go on their own. So, I mean, I feel like it was an amazing opportunity that I had.
Now, when you go back to school, do you have to, will you turnkey the sessions you went to? Do you have to present something for your district of what you learned?
Not necessarily from Iste. I do presentations. I have 2 set up. We have staff development days before school starts. So I have to do 2 there. I mean, there are some things from Iste that I will take back, but those sessions were kind of set up beforehand.
Now, did you go to a Nearpod session in Iste?
No, I did not go to Nearpod because I am a Nearpod certified educator, so I feel like I do have a lot of Nearpod background. I wanted to kind of venture into other things.
That's awesome. And I believe that so much where when you go to a PD conference or you have the opportunity to attend an online conference.
Yes.
Go to the sessions that you're not familiar with, right?
Yeah.
To learn new things. So yeah, I wouldn't have gone to Nearpod either.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's great, and people should go, but I felt like, knowing
by the booth. Did you go see the booth? Did you go to the conference floor, the vendor floor?
Oh, the vendor floor is like it's like Christmas. It's amazing. It is amazing. All of the vendors that they have. Yes, I went there. Everybody wants to give you free swag, and here I have this. I got socks from Moby, from Brain Pop. I mean, the vendor floor it's amazing. I mean, that in itself is just so great. Never mind.
Right. Well, I'm wondering, when people go to Iste, can you get a ticket just to go to the exhibit floor, the exhibitors floor area?
I don't know.
That's interesting. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's like it's like a candy shop for tech teachers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
All right. So, Kristin, tell us your blog.
Sampson Shop.
Okay. So, I always, since I've known Kristin, it's always intrigued me that her branding is Sampson Shop. So I'm like, wait a minute, is it like Kristin Sampson? So tell us where you get the name from.
My dog. My dog's name is Sampson. And I just went with that because I feel like in teaching, you never really know what's going to happen. I'm a special education teacher in the middle school, but my certification is K-12. So they potentially could tell me tomorrow, you're going to go to the high school, you're going to go to kindergarten. So I felt like that was kind of ambiguous, and I was able to just throw all the knowledge into it.
I think it's awesome. So have you spent most of your career in middle school?
Yes. I started out student teaching in 2nd grade and then 4th grade. But then from there, I've been in middle school it'll be 12 years when I go back.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes.
Okay. So you're a big Nearpod advocate.
Yes.
You love Nearpod. So what brought you to Nearpod? Like what got you started?
I got an email from my principal saying, we have 5 free accounts for Nearpod. Who wants one? I had no idea what it was, but it was free. And I'm like, I'll take it. So that's pretty much how I was introduced to it. And, you know, I got the free account, and you know, sometimes you get these things and it's kind of like, it's okay. But this one really has changed my teaching. You know
what I love, that your principal took the 5 free accounts and acted on it and gave them out.
Yes.
And your district didn't jump into buying the district license before having people try it out.
Which in some ways is good, but if you tell the teachers that didn't have the Nearpod account, they weren't very happy. Like, they really had to be pushy and say, we want this, we want this. And now I think pretty much they have the site-wide license, because everybody, you know, was just like jumping on the band.
Okay. So let's see what's going on. I see that you opened up a browser. So students would work on a Chromebook. Can Nearpod be accessible on a tablet?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that's awesome. So
what they go to nearpod.com, and then where it says for students, enter the code.
Okay. So let's see. You want to take us through it?
Sure. So every presentation that you have is going to have a 6-letter code. The student put it in uppercase, lowercase, that doesn't matter. It just has to be those 6 letters. And then they would enter the code here. If there is a free version of Nearpod, and then there is what's called the gold version. I have the gold version. Yeah. So there's a couple differences. I mean, you definitely can get off and running on the free version. You don't really need the gold.
So did your school district pay for the gold for you?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's what, you know, because at one point in time I was giving PD on this, and some of the features that I had, I forgot that the freebies didn't have. And then that's where a lot of people were like, I need what you have. Like, this isn't fair. Right. But I mean, you definitely can use it. One of the biggest differences between the 2 subscriptions is when you have the gold version, you can have student-paced lessons. So if you want to do something like for a review and you want the students to be doing it independently, that would be a student-paced lesson where you're not really in charge of it. You know, the kids are going at their own pace.
Are you going to show us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I have live lesson versus student pace. That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
So a live lesson would be where the teacher is in control, and I'm going to switch to, so you see here.
Wow.
These are all of the different, I have tons and tons. I've been using this for a while. Some of these I've created on my own. Some of these, I just will go into their library and I'll just type in the topic that I want and pick something. So this is something that I created on my own, and I have the option to either do a live lesson or a student pace. So the live lesson will pop up. And then this is the example. Oh, I'm sorry. It's five letters. I can't, I never teach math. So.
That's all right. Wait, Kristin, small detail. We're good.
Okay. So this is what will pop up. So once the students sign in, this is what they see. And for the live lesson, they can't move this. You are in control of what they're seeing on here. So until you'll see at the bottom of the screen, it tells you how many students are in there. I can't see what's in the middle because and then it also tells you what slide you're on.
Okay. So
this does not move until you move it. So now that I'm clicking here, now this slide will be on everybody's screen. And this is just, it's kind of like a Padlet, what I have on here. So this is just allowing me to get to know what do they know about the digestive system. So the kids can type in here, you know, being special ed, not all of the kids really want to tell me in words. So they do have the option of also finding an image. So they can type something in here. It'll go to, they don't really have any pictures to upload. So it'll go to Google and then they can upload an image. And then all of that comes up here.
That's awesome. Will all their responses appear? You said all their responses will appear?
All their responses will appear on there. And you have the option, I clicked no out of there, but what popped up was, you know, my kids, I lay down the law. They know, you know, you're not putting inappropriate stuff on there. If you do, your Chromebook's going away, you're done for the day. So I will let them just
Wait,
pop up and share.
that sounds familiar to everyone.
But for other teachers who, you know, if you have a larger classroom, it's sometimes not as manageable. So you do have the ability to monitor their responses before they go up. And then,
That's awesome.
yes. So then, and then going through, now this was a Google slide presentation that I had. So all I did was upload it on here.
Yeah.
And now I'm just making it a little bit more interactive. So something.
Okay. So I think that's a really awesome thing for everyone that's a great takeaway, that Nearpod syncs with Google Drive.
Yes. PowerPoint, you can upload PDFs.
Okay.
You know, like, I feel like if you're a teacher that wants to take, you know, this blended learning to the next level, you know, you may have PowerPoints and you don't really know what to do with them anymore because maybe the kids aren't as engaged as they used to be. You can just upload them to Nearpod, and then you're just adding in like the activities, like the Padlet type board, and it's just making it more engaging. You know, the kids are going to be like, you know, like woken up and like, oh, what is this?
Right. I got it. Yeah. That's awesome. You don't have to so you don't have to create specific Nearpod activities. You're using Nearpod to deliver it.
Yes. Yes.
Got it. Okay.
You know, and again,
That's
like
huge.
this is something that I had that I'm just reusing. If you don't have something, if you're a brand new teacher and you're like, well, I don't have anything, they have a library, and the library has so much stuff in it that you can just pull up and you can use. You can edit now, but editing, you know, like I feel like people think editing like, oh, I can just change everything. You're editing. I have this slide up here. You can't edit the words on here. You can delete this slide out of the presentation if you feel like it wouldn't be good for your students.
Right.
But you can't touch anything that is like on this slide here.
Okay.
If you didn't like that Padlet activity that we started with, or if on the activities, like if you don't like how this question is worded, that you would be able to edit. But, you know, I just think that's important because I feel like when people say editing capabilities, they think they could just tear apart, you know, the presentation and really tailor it to exactly what they need.
Change the slides. Right.
Yeah. So that's just one thing I wanted to point out. But, you know, like, so we have some reading going on. So they're getting some information about the digestive system. And then I'm hitting them with a question. Now, this is the teacher view. The student view is a little bit different. I think I'm going to show you what it's SXRJP. Let me, I want to show you the difference between the teacher and the student view. So I'm going to, sorry.
No.
Okay, so it was SXRJP. So I'm signing in as if I were a student. And this is what I do also. This is one of the tips that I would give you as a teacher. Like most of the time, if I'm doing a live lesson, I'm showing it on the smartboard. On your computer that's hooked up to the smartboard, sign in as a student. Because as you see, I'm going to show you what both of these slides look like right now. This is what the student slide looks like. So in your own words, tell me the difference between the chemical and mechanical digestion, and then they can type, you know, in their answer here. But my screen looks a little bit different. So what will happen is the student answers will pop up here.
Okay, so that's a good tip. So when using Nearpod, always use the student view when showing your students. Okay.
Yes, because you don't want, now you have the ability to hide the student names if you want. So now it's just coming up as asterisks, whereas before you could see Kristin Muse is in here. Right. So you do have the ability to hide the student names, but I just feel like, you know, you get that student that may not know what's going on, you know, and I feel
you
like
don't want to, right.
Attention.
You don't want to call anybody out, right?
Yeah. So I like to sign in on the smartboard so they're seeing exactly what is on their screen and they're not confused in any way. Another reason why I like Nearpod though is because you can see now that I signed in down here, you have the students and there's only one student signed in right now, but because it's green, you know I'm on the same page as you. Okay, I'm not off task, I'm not doing something else, I'm in the lesson. So if you don't have any sort of monitoring program, this is helping you. You know, like my school has Dino to be able to see, you know, what the students are on, but not everybody has something like that. And Dino is a paid subscription. So, you know, like you could pay thousands of dollars. You know,
So
I feel like
the green with the number means who's on task, how many are on task, how many are on the slide.
yes,
Yes, okay.
you know, because I have
What's that number like for you? Is it usually everybody or no?
I have one student that is obsessed with like sports. So he'll always be trying to like go off and you know, see what happened at the Yankee game and things like that. So for the most part, it's pretty good. But
I've had a student like that, obsessed with Yankees, and he was always on the MLB site. And
yes. Even in the winter, I'm like, there's no games right now. Like, what are you doing? But
hockey.
Yeah, I guess it didn't matter what sport it was.
No. No,
You know,
and you're in New York, so you're in the mecca of sports. So yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you knew he was.
Yeah, I feel like as the year goes on, you know, your students and who's going to be the ones that are going to be trying to do something else.
Absolutely.
And that's another reason why I also feel if you sign in, it does make you need 2 devices. But if you're signing in on whatever's hooked up to the smart board as a student, it's allowing you to monitor the room a little bit more. You know, it's not making you so that you kind of have to just stand up there at the classroom. You're able to walk around and check in with the students. So then, you know, they hopefully may not be doing things they're not supposed to be doing.
I know. Okay. So let's keep going. So let's see. So that's awesome.
So, and you know, there's so many different activities that you can embed in here. So now I have a website that I thought had a cute video on the digestive system. So we would click on this and then
so you were able to pull in from YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, like my district, the teachers are allowed to access YouTube, but the students cannot. But if I have it embedded through Nearpod, it works for them. So I don't know if you're
huge. Oh my God. That's worth its weight in gold.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
How many times do we read in groups that teachers have YouTube locked in their school?
Yeah. All the time.
All right. So
you know,
don't go back. So if you're watching this Facebook Live, don't go back and tell the person to watch YouTube. This is what you're going to do. That's what I learned. Yeah. Leave me out of it. But like, this is cool knowledge to have. All right. I love that.
Yes. I just wanted to show you. So a couple other activities. I'm going to switch to a different one right now.
Okay.
They have like we have VR headsets. We have a couple, so the students do have to share them, but you can take a trip to Africa. So if you're, you know, studying the different civilizations or geography, you can go and you can see, you know, what it's like in Africa. So it gives them like a really cool perspective of different places.
So to view that, wait, you don't have to put the headset on though.
It's weird. If you have the headset, the kids like it because then they're just moving their heads all around and they can see stuff, but you can still view it without. So yes, you don't necessarily need the headsets.
I think the hand experience that's all.
Yeah. I think. Yes. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then there was.
So do you set the headsets up at a station or does everybody have them?
I usually do stations. I don't have enough for everybody, so they usually have to get into groups.
I think most common they are station center activity.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so that's.
And then.
So did you access the VR resources through Nearpod, or did you find that was from watchlearn.org?
Yes.
Okay.
Just got rid of it for. Come back.
It's okay if you can't get back to it.
Oh, I think that was the student one. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're fine. Those that are watching, you know, we could just take it in, watching you click around. Because believe me, that's what happens.
Oh, okay. So this is on the student. So I can't move anything because it's we're in the live lesson.
Okay.
An example, the teacher has to move the page. So you could have the students click here to open it. And yes, it was watch, no, learn. And then they can just scroll and the video will be here. I don't know if you want me to play the video. I think that we kind
No,
of get.
but
But then on the teacher view, I want the students to move, and now we're going to learn a little bit more.
there we
You
go.
know, so you have, I feel like you have like the meat of your lesson, but embedded in it, you have those activities that are helping them dive a little bit deeper and also assess what they're learning as they're moving through it.
Right. Okay. So let's.
You know, so here we were talking about the different parts of the digestive system. So now what parts make up the digestive system? So on the student view, now they have multiple choice. You know, so they would have to click which one is correct. It should be that. And then they can submit it. And now, so they're submitting their answers. Now, another thing that you can do, and this is what I love, because I feel like we're held so accountable for everything that we do. Everything's data-driven, you know.
Yes.
The kids like this, you know, I'm sorry, not to the, are the kids learning from this? They obviously will like Nearpod. But if you want to assess learning, you know, if the kid fails a test and the parents are going crazy, well, you can show them, you know, what you were doing up until that point. So you would go to here and you would go to reports.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't it clicking?
Are you logged in? Are you in the student view or are you in your view?
No, I'm in my view, but let me see if I'll access it there. Oh, technology is great.
They might be doing maintenance on it.
Let me see. Sometimes I have trouble on.
You know what we could do? During this broadcast, in the comments, you'll drop a screenshot maybe?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. It's coming up. So I'm going to show this one.
So being that they generate reports for you, I'm assuming you're saving time grading.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's one of my biggest, like, is this technology going to save me time in the end? Is it going to turn my life into like a no prep type of situation?
Because I'll leave these for sub plans now sometimes, depending, you know, where we are and what we're learning. And I tell the kids, like, you know, this is going to be your participation grades, you know, because I feel like in the beginning, because what you can see here is you can see the participation. So you see how many questions they answered, the percentage, and how many were skipped. So you can then go to the student and say, you know, like, why did you skip these questions? You know, and I feel like you may have to have that conversation at first. And once the students realize, oh, you can see when I just didn't answer something, you know, whether it be because you were just trying to like race through it or obviously you weren't paying attention, you know, it holds them accountable. And then you can see also, you know, how many answers they're getting correct as a class and how many they're getting wrong. And then you can look back, you can see the quiz, you can see how many students were getting this question correct, you know, how many of them did not. So you know now where you need to tailor your next lesson and what you need to be going over. And then you can download this information so that you have it, and you can also share it through email. You know, so let's say you want to use a Nearpod, you know, for an observation and you want to really impress the administrator, well, share those results to them and say, oh, look, just in case you wanted to know, this is what the class did. And I think, you know, that looks impressive.
I love that. Yeah. I would be impressed. Absolutely. How many times when teachers get observed, you don't go up to the person that observed you to give them something additional?
Right.
Anytime during an observation, I always found myself handing the observer what we're doing in class.
Yes.
We're walking over them and giving them the textbook or giving them the book we're engaged in.
Yes.
Just to, sometimes I look over and I see them flipping through it or they put it to the side. I don't know. I think it just adds.
I like it too, because then I feel like they're paying more attention to that and not so much as me. And then I feel like my nervousness will like be calmed a little bit.
Now,
So,
you mentioned before that you leave it for a substitute. What is it? How is it for the substitute to access this? Do you find it in your district? Do all the subs have their own logins?
No. So if I'm leaving this for a substitute, I'm not leaving a live lesson. I'm leaving the student-paced lesson where the students can go, you know, at their own pace. In my classroom, I have a chalkboard, and it has like the do now, the aim, And now I also have like a Nearpod little sign. And the students know when they walk in, if they see the code there, they know they're doing a Nearpod, and they're usually like, yes, you know. So I'll leave the directions for the substitute to understand what they're doing so that they're monitoring, but the students are doing it independently.
Can you do Nearpod collaboratively? Do you have them working on things together, or is it typically independent?
It's either independent or we're doing the live lesson where, you know, then I'm gathering all of their.
Do you ever put them in pairs or small groups to work on a self-paced lesson?
If I'm doing the VR, yes.
Yes,
the virtual
okay.
reality, and I also do that because of the goggles. So
All
yes,
right.
we'll do it for some things.
That's what, you know, bring up the VR again. That's what I want to hear, that the VR activities are collaborative.
Yes, yes, they are.
I was thinking that because your partner's accessing maybe the sheet you're working on, and then the partner has the goggles on, then you switch.
Yes.
So now I have here all the activities that you can do in Nearpod. We saw how you do short answer responses. The collaborative board was awesome. That's like an instant discussion board. So teachers and I would just use it for that, because that's a great college skill.
Yes. And I feel like it's a great way to, you know, just get some background knowledge for students that may not, you know, they may not necessarily have an answer, but when they're seeing what their peers are putting in there, you know, it's starting to trigger some things.
Right. So let's get off this browser window. Do you want to show us anything? Okay, we saw the videos. We saw how you brought in a website.
Well, why don't I show you how easy it is to add? Let me go to.
I like that. Africa. I want to explore more of this 360 video stuff.
Okay, so let's say I want to edit this. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So if you're creating something, or if you found something in the library and you want to edit it, this is what it'll look like. And this shows you all of the different slides. So you can see, like, these are the slides that are giving them the information, and then these are all the activity slides, and it's telling you what the activity is.
That's great. So you don't have to go through each one.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to scroll through. You have something that's very easily accessible right here.
Totally a time saver.
And if you wanted to upload more slides, you can upload them right here. So if you want to add a slide, this is what's going to come up. Do you want to add content, web content, or an activity? So let's choose an activity. And then you have all of your different options down here. Matching pairs is kind of like what's the concentration where you have to flip the card over?
Yeah.
Match. And
I love
you know,
that.
like
my kids love that.
I'll like have challenges with the kids to see who can do it quicker than me. You have draw it, collaborate, you have a poll, fill in the blank, and memory test. That's memory test. What is this one? This is new.
Oh, maybe matching pairs should be like antonym, synonym.
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So to add the activity, all you have to do, sorry, I needed to see what that was. You just choose what you want down here. So let's say you want a poll because you want to see who's understanding. So you just answer the question, write in your question here. Is the digestive system important?
I wish mine worked faster. Wait, that's metabolism. Can we ask a question about that?
I don't allow my students to select multiple options because most of the time I'm doing like yes, no, or I'm kind of gauging. You have the opportunity, you know, you can choose that. You can also add a picture here if you wanted to, and then you save it. And then it will default to putting it at the end, but if you want to move it somewhere else, you just move it and place it wherever you want. And then when you're done with that, you just save, you exit. You also have the opportunity to preview it.
So Nearpod is web-based. You didn't have to download an app onto your Chromebook, laptop.
No.
To access it through the web. So that means you can access it anywhere.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And they have a lot of back to school stuff. So if you want like icebreakers and things like that, they have all of these back to school for Nearpod also is like every grade. I'm middle school, but they have stuff for kindergartners. They have stuff for high school. So and they even, one thing that they're also doing is they're trying to do more like college ready stuff. So even guidance counselors can use this. They're really doing a lot of stuff with the colleges, because some of the kids, I guess, can't visit all of the campuses that they may be interested in. So now they're making Nearpod presentations of the different college campuses to give the students a little,
That's
glimpse.
amazing.
It is. It's really like they're trying to just dominate everything educationally. They're really hitting areas that I feel other educational sites forget. Because we always have like the PD in the beginning of the year, and I feel like the guidance counselors, the social workers, are always like, "What am I doing?" Because most of it's for teachers.
It's not the truth. So I've gotten to know counselors and learning consultants and all support staff.
Yes.
In groups, and they look for just as many resources as classroom teachers do.
Yes.
And I think we forget that.
Yeah.
That they're doing back to school prep. They're like, this is great. So that's how counselors are using Nearpod. That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so is there a parent view?
No, there's not.
Okay, so that's fine. That's cool, because sometimes you can't give access to everything, right? So does Nearpod sync? Can you use Nearpod with Google Classroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the share button down here. And
Now, do you use Google Classroom?
I don't.
No. Okay. So
I used Edmodo last year, and this upcoming year we're switching to Schoology.
will this work with Schoology?
All you have to do, it can work with anything, because you have some ways to send it here, but all you have to do is share that code to the students. So like when I was in Edmodo, I would just, you're going to go on Nearpod, use this 5-letter code. And then all they do, they go to Nearpod, and then they're going to that original screen.
Mm-hmm.
Which my screens are not coming up. But they go to that first screen where it says student, enter the code, and they just put the code in there.
Okay. So they've designed it to be shared in any learning management system.
Yes. Yes.
There's no issue. Okay.
No.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did we leave out? We've covered everything.
I think so.
And you, I know you and I speak fast because we're from New York and New Jersey.
Yes.
You're going to be dropping links for people to follow up with you on your blog. And if anybody has any questions, Kristin will direct you to where to find the information if she doesn't have it.
Yes.
Because like she said, she's hooked up with Nearpod pretty good.
Yes.
And she can get you started with, whatever you need, right?
100%, definitely.
Okay. Yes. And you have to do more videos, by the way. I think you were amazing during this presentation. And there's so much Nearpod valuable assets that you can spend 30 minutes on one area.
Yeah, and they're always coming out with new features.
Right.
Like the VR was something that was new last year. They're always trying to up it. So there's tons and tons to talk about. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
Okay, so Kristin's going to drop all her links, how to get her on social media, her blog, and she's going to be available in the comments, as well as, you can get over to her page and see what she's doing in her classroom, because she posts things all school year, really great pictures of what she's doing in her room and great student work, and because you love to celebrate their success. That's one of the things I love about you.
Yes.
Because I'm a special educator also, and giving opportunities for success, that's huge, right? And I know that's what you're all about, and that's, you and I connect that way, and I love that. So thank you for doing that for kids. And Nearpod's great. Kristin Muse, thank you so much.
No problem.
So I think we need to have Kristin back.
Yes. Let me know what you want.
Or we should have a contest to have Kristin come to your classroom.
Oh, that would be great. I love that. I love looking at other people's classrooms. Whenever I go in there, I'm always like, I just have to look around and,
Right.
you know.
Well,
love to
that's
take-
why you would be, that's why you're good in your building as a TILT, right? A tech.
Yes.
What does TILT stand for again?
Uh,
Tech.
Technology Integration Lead Teacher.
Right. So when you come in, it's, you go in there so positive, probably. People are like, look, they probably look forward to you coming in. So that's cool.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
because a lot of people I feel are scared sometimes of technology, and it doesn't have to be so scary. So that's, you know, I really try to provide the people in my district with functional technology, you know, especially for those people that are scared. This is what's going to make life easier. You know.
Okay. So the scary part, okay, so you just hit something, hit the nail on the head. I think the scary part, the reluctancy is the technology going to make things more difficult for me?
Yes.
Where it should be the opposite. And it looks like Nearpod delivers that,
Yes.
makes it easier. Okay. All right. So that's a cool way to wrap things up. So Nearpods for everyone, check it out. There's a free level. If you want to be fancy schmancy, you can pay for the gold package or get your principal to pay for it.
And I will drop in the comments a free 3-month subscription for the gold package. If you want to get your, you know, toes a little wet and dip them in the water, they are offering a 3-month gold edition. So you'll get to play around with all the features for 3 months.
Okay. Is that a giveaway or is everyone getting that?
Everybody will get that. It'll be, I'll put a code in there.
They did that for you?
Yes.
Oh, Kristin, thank you so much. That's amazing. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh my God. Okay. I just got a little chill. I'm so excited. Okay. Everyone's going home with the gold package. All right.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Around for the
Thank
school year, we're going to have more Facebook Lives and probably have Kristin back. So thank you.
Bye.